When asked to present about my individual role within our team, it was important to me that I communicated this in a way that was interesting and informative. This led me to create a presentation for you today. Like many of you, my role as a public health nurse includes postpartum newborn follow-up, Grow With Me clinic, immunizing at CHC, and immunizing at adult clinic. I'm a backup facilitator for both prenatal and postpartum baby and me groups. I work weekends, and I take care of the bulletin boards within the clinic rooms. After completing my STI and CM training earlier this year, Youth Clinic has been a welcome and exciting addition to my work. For me, Youth Clinic work occurs on a weekly basis. Most often I work one backup Youth Clinic shift and one late shift per week. In addition to Youth Clinic, we see adult STI clients for STI appointments outside of clinic hours. We accommodate these clients within our individual schedules. Both Youth Clinic and adult STI work can flow beyond individual appointments or clinic times, especially if we are dealing with positive STI results. Results are received through Acceleris, which we print each morning, and often we are responsible for then filing these reports and following up on any positive results. Although printing Acceleris can be a quick job, it can also be a time-consuming job if positive reports come in. Following along the sexual health stream, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to join Shannon on the Entity team this year. This is a year of significant learning for me, as Entity is very different from anything I've experienced in my work as a nurse so far. My role with Entity will continue to evolve as I learn and grow with the team. Throughout the school year, Shannon and I, along with Chris Eisner, dedicate Monday evenings from 3:30 to 5:30 to teaching roughly 20 high school students who are in grades 9 to 12 a curriculum that they then teach their peers in the school setting. As those who have come before me can attest, this program takes an immense amount of planning, organization, communication, and collaboration between all Entity members, our peer educators, and the school district. Once our Entity educators are prepared with the curriculum, Shannon and I head out to the schools with the educators and facilitate classes with grades 7, 8, and 9 students. Topics our educators teach include sexual health, substance misuse prevention, safe party planning, friendships and relationships, as well as stress and anxiety, just to name a few. Before Christmas, Entity will have gone out to the school roughly 15 times. Entity runs the length of the school year and represents a growing portion of my workload. Currently, I am the school immunization team lead. As a team, we cover 7 elementary schools and 2 high schools. The process for preparing for school immunization begins in September each year and runs until the end of May. In a nutshell, leading the school immunization team involves an immense amount of focused attention to detail and meticulous checking and double-checking of lists, records, and consents. It requires significant computer work, hundreds of phone calls, and then hundreds of calls again in an attempt to obtain telephone consent. It requires communication with school secretaries, principals, and PAC. It requires answering parent questions and providing reassurance. It requires calculating vaccine needs and ordering vaccine for the school cohort. It requires packing and unpacking, checking and double-checking each detail to make sure our mass events are a success and no errors are made. School immunization team lead represents a significant portion of my workload from September to November, January to February, and then May of each year. As a team, we also work to run our twice monthly school catch-up clinics for those students not being immunized in the school setting. Currently, out of all the programs I lead, being our office flu lead is my favorite. Flu as a program is dynamic, forever changing, even within the same season, and no 2 seasons are ever the same. Inventory management and distribution of vaccine is the name of the game, and I love it. communicating with community vaccine providers, including physicians, pharmacists, acute care at Oceanside Health Centre, home care, and facilities is ongoing. Phone calls with inquiries and questions keep me busy throughout flu season. Equitable distribution of vaccine is a challenge, requiring careful evaluation of historic vaccine use and consideration of seasonal uptake and stock on hand. Management of flu vaccine involves careful record keeping, and for this I use a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet is monitored and tells a story about how much vaccine we are distributing, to who, and what we are using when. The data collected is used for planning for the next flu season. Another part of my role as flu lead involves organizing family flu clinics and 1 or 2 community mass flu clinics. These clinics require a great deal of preparation and involve everything from arranging volunteers to organizing the many resources and bits of paperwork we require. Calculating our own vaccine needs and strategic planning about what we keep and what we distribute is essential to ensuring we have vaccine on hand to run these clinics. I couldn't function as flu lead without the help of admin. Another lead role I hold within our office is BPM, or Biological Product Manager. This role involves making sure we have the right vaccine for the right clinic or event at the right time. In collaboration with admin, this is work I do on a daily to weekly basis. We order vaccine on a bi-weekly basis. It is my role to assess vaccine on hand and decide how much of what vaccine is ordered. This is especially important when we think about school immunization clinics, kindergarten clinics, outreach events, and the day-to-day functioning of our health unit clinics. As BPM, I also become involved anytime there is a cold chain incident within our health unit or within the community. When it was announced that Oceanside would be a TCB site, I happily agreed to take on the role as TCB lead. The majority of my work as TCB lead was getting this program up and running. This involved developing office procedures, looking at the day-to-day logistics of how this program would work in our office, and communicating/negotiating follow-up with multidisciplinary team members. My ongoing role as TCB lead involves collecting the TCB stats for our office and communicating/problem-solving situations related to the TCB system or procedure. Like many of you, no 2 days as a public health nurse are the same, and that's what I love about this job and what I love about working in an office where we are given the opportunity to explore new areas of practice. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks for listening.